right, welcome to the Voice by Matt show. My name is Matt Bertho. I'm your host. And co-host today, as of right now, is...
Mark Thompson.
Mark is a junior here at Winfield High School. And Billy, where's Billy?
He is getting his car fixed right now.
What
Because this is
happened
the
to
only
it?
time they could do it. We had snow about a week ago, and he said that it absolutely just wrecked the underside of his car and that he also needed an oil change. And this was the best time to do it, and so...
So there you go. So we're improvising a little bit today. We're going to do a question and answer with the students. They're going to come up one at a time, and we are going to do this episode. This will be a shorter episode today, so about 15 minutes. So yeah, these are Winfield High School students, and we are showcasing them. So I forget to say this every time while they're getting ready, but please subscribe to the podcast, the YouTube channel. Please give us a review of 5 stars. That would be awesome. And yeah, I'm ready for the first question, Mark.
All right. So I'll let them come up and ask it. First up, we have Jocelyn Bonnell.
Jocelyn Bonnell is a sophomore and soprano 1.
What is the process to figure out your definite major purpose?
The process to figure out your definite major purpose. Well, I think that part of the process is being okay with failing and not trying to be perfect. A lot of students and a lot of clients, when they start with me, they try to be perfect. They try to sound perfect. They try to, they try to sound like a certain speaker or a certain singer. And then we get to the point where, they can't imitate exactly, Michael Jackson or Adele or, Morgan Freeman's voice. And so then that process becomes them finding their true voice, which is a messy process. It's hard to put it into like one word, but it just doesn't happen in one lesson or one coaching or one class. It's an ongoing thing that is not easy, and people cry getting through that process. Yeah, I think that, it's not a quick thing. Plus, I think to find your purpose, your truth, I heard a good question last week. What is your joy? What gives you joy? My joy is having students or clients, when I'm working with them, just speak truth. Just speak their truth and get it out. There was a really awesome Instagram reel and TikTok that we posted up with Kinley that, she shared some stuff to me, and after that, she had a really awesome week. So part of finding your purpose, I think, and your truth is getting through the dirt, the mud, the darkness. And being a teacher, what's really hard as a teacher and as a coach is watching students go through that. And you have to let them go through that. You can't just stop it. Because if you stop it, you stop the process of them finding their truth and their true voice. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Who's next, Mark? Who do we got? Mia Anderson? Mia is also a sophomore from Winfield High School, soprano 2. She's a good singer, just like all these guys are. What's your question, Mia?
My question is how to deal with deep-rooted anxiety and insecurities.
Okay. So anxiety and insecurities, that's something that everyone deals with. So, we're insecure about the way we look or whatever, but that's really based on our environment, right? So we measure ourselves to our environment, and our environment can be in real life or it can be what we see on social media. So lots of times, people change their hair or their clothes or whatever because, I don't know, the Jenners, change their hair or their makeup line, right? And so then we're like, oh, I guess I have to have that, right? The same goes for like shoes. When I was growing up, Jordans, Air Jordans were the thing. You had a pair of Air Jordans. One, we thought you were rich. And two, you could do magical things on the basketball court. But that wasn't the case. It was just a shoe, right? So insecurities, I think also we learn insecurities from our family a little bit. I remember growing up that my mom and dad or grandma or grandpa would say something like, oh, I'm getting fat, or, I shouldn't eat so much or whatever. And I think that we learn some of those insecurities also that make us feel accepted in our culture. Like students always say, I'm tired. And then that's like a popular thing then. Oh, I'm tired too. Oh, I'm tired. So anxiety is different. We talked about this in class the other day we talked about in the last podcast also about the model of, anxiety. When you get to anxiety, why is it there? What's the reason? What's the lesson in having the anxiety? What's it trying to teach you, right? And when you stay in that and you stay in that question, what is this trying to teach me? Why am I anxious? That's when we grow. Because I know for me, whenever I'm anxious, it's probably because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I didn't do, the cast list right, or I didn't get this ready for a cappella choir, or I didn't get this ready for this client that needs it ready, right? So anxiety, lots of times anxiety seems to me like it's self-fulfilling. Like we kind of put that on ourselves sometimes. But other times too, like it's non-truths. It's stories that we tell ourselves that are not true. And again, I think that's stuff that sometimes we hear from our families, like, I'm not good enough, or, well, I guess I'm not going to get that job. I'm not smart enough, or I don't know the right people to get that job, those are things that I heard growing up. And is that true? No, it's stories that we tell ourselves. Did that answer your question, Mia? All right, you're welcome. This is fun. You guys having fun? Who's next? Oh, we don't have anyone, Mark. What do you got?
All right, so something that's really interesting is that I don't know if you saw, but within the NFL, Joe Burrow got the MVP. And yeah.
Time out. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Because like earlier in the season.
Time out. Aaron Rodgers didn't get MVP?
Or sorry, he got MVP, but comeback player. Sorry, comeback player.
Okay, I was about to say.
Comeback player. No, Aaron Rodgers got MVP, but comeback player of the year was Joe Burrow.
How is he comeback player of the year when he was literally almost a rookie? How's that comeback player of the year?
This is because way earlier in the season, or like towards the beginning, I believe, he ended up tearing his, ACL, and he made the comeback, from being injured, to go into the Super Bowl.
So what's the question?
And so my question to you is, not only with injuries, but just in general, if you're like, broken down on your knees or, something of that sort, how do you make the comeback and, say become that, comeback player or whatever it might be?
Well, I think for me personally, you have to be broken, really broken, like to the point that the thing that you love to do, or the thing that you love to be around, or the thing that you love, there's a chance that it could be snatched away. And like for me, it was when I turned 40, I was weighing like 250 pounds, 240 pounds, something like that. And there was a moment where I was like, I need to get my life in order. I need to get my health in order, man. And I never thought that I'd be even close to my high school weight at all. I wrestled at 172 pounds. And kind of I fluctuated between that and about 180, 185 all through high school. And, since 2019, 2018, I haven't been over 200 pounds, period. So, when you have something to fight for, your family, your students, people you love, etc., that's the best story. Like the comeback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was a comeback. It was like, I'm taking my life back. I'm taking my health back. But yeah, man, like, those are the best stories that, people are in a situation, they have an opportunity to quit or give up. And then, they come back like Rocky, man. Like Rocky 1, he loses, but everybody loves him because of the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rocky 2, he beats Apollo. He beats him. And, it's that fight that all of us have inside of us that burns inside of us. And, it stems from our purpose. It stems from our joy. And, I think in a lifetime, you'll have tons of comebacks. Everybody will. It's not just one. There's tons of comebacks. It builds grit and resilience. But yeah, good question, Mark.
And you know what? I actually have something perfect for this.
Okay, Mark. Let's see what you got. Well, he's doing something. What's he getting? What's he getting? I think Bree's out there. You can let her in because she helped do this. So this is the segment we almost forgot. For people that are watching YouTube, you can see the sparkle copper jacket. All right. Here comes Bree. All right. So this segment, I have 13 seconds to do a cold read. I have no idea what this paper says, but we have about 2 minutes left in the podcast. Let's see what it is, Bree. Oh, goodness. Who wrote this? I'm gonna ask for clarification on a word that you wrote. Okay.
Forgot the R.
I forgot the R. What's this from? From a website. Here we go. All right, I'm ready. Compromise where you can. Where you can't, don't. Even if everyone is telling you that something wrong is something right. Even if the whole world is telling you to move, it is your duty to plant yourself like a tree. Look them in the eye and say, no, you move.
So this is from Captain America Civil War. This is actually Sharon Carter that said this at Peggy Carter's funeral.
Aw, I love that. That's
But
good.
I picked this one off the top, and I figured, this plays exactly into absolutely everything we've talked about today.
How so,
And
Mark?
Well, when it says, compromise where you can, and I mean, just throughout the entire thing, like, it pulls a little bit from, gosh, I'm trying to remember who all had questions. But if you notice from each little question and how you answered it, it pulls little bits and pieces, from around, from around your talking points, and pieces it all back into this big, multiverse per se. And
That was good, Mark. Multiverse. He had to get that in there. All right. So
yeah.
This was the question and answer episode number 31. And I hope that you guys got some entertainment today. I hope you learned a little bit today. We are getting ready for Vikings on Broadway at Winfield High School, and it's a little bit crazy. And so we're going to do our best to stay on track with every week podcasts. But they might be a little shorter sometimes in March, for sure. So I'm signing off. Love you guys. Peace.